story ideas I have, and I'm thinking which ones would they fit in best. So with Carl and Donut, I thought of them first, and then I went back to my alien game show idea. I'm a huge fan of world building, but I make it up as I go along. Sometimes I'll have certain things set in stone, like the world works like this, and I pause a lot in my writing. So I'm like, okay, well, I need to figure out like how they deal with like garbage disposal or something in this world. Or they're in a cave and there's so much smoke, they're all gonna choke to death in 10 minutes. How do you deal with that? So I pause and I do a little bit of world building because I found a lot of my writer friends, they start world building because they're gonna write a novel one day. And they start this world and they create a folder and it has everything about this world in it, and it becomes this whole thing where they never write the novel because they have world building itis. And I'm terrified of that because I have such a squirrel brain that when it is a million miles an hour, I can fall down that path and I don't actually write the story. So I like to make it up as I go.
Hi Matt, my name's Steve.
Hi Steve.
What really drew me to the book was the companionship between Carl and Donut, and I was wondering what the inspiration was for that. I love animals, so that like instantly threw me into Donut started talking. But I was like running through my head what I would say to my pets. So just wondering what the inspiration.
Yeah, I mean, I've had pets my whole life. They're both dogs and cats. When I was a kid, I had dogs, and now I have multiple dogs, multiple cats, and Tina, who's a turtle. And I always had, I think, a pretty close relationship with my animals, and they've always been pretty important to me. So, and then I started drawing pictures of dogs and cats, and I'm meeting dogs all day long and cats all day long. And yeah, and we just got a new kitten named Svetlana, and if you go to my Instagram, you can find a link to her Instagram. My wife is very excited about posting pictures of her on Instagram. So.
Is it just Svetlana? It's not like.
No, she has a very long name. It's Princess Svetlana of the Dinniman Imperium. Destroyer of filth, first of her name. She who hers.
My name's Shannon, and so my question for you is, as when I'm done with a book or a series this long, I kind of get this book thing where I can't get myself out of the world. I can't read a new book yet because I'm still attached to the characters that hopefully we are not killing off. As a writer, do you experience that as well? Even though it's going to TV, do you still get that?
Yeah, I mean, I love the characters, I love the story, and, you know, when I kill them, I'll shed a tear.
But you also cackle like a madman.
I didn't laugh for most of them, but when I write scenes, I've said this before, sometimes I get stuck. When I get stuck, I'll write the scene where one of the characters dies. No matter how innocuous the scene is, and I'll write it over and over, and I'll go through, I'll kill every single character in that scene to see how everybody reacts, and then I know how to get out of that scene because I know what's at stake for everybody. But so I've killed Donut, I've killed Carl, I've killed Longo, I've killed Zeb a million times. It's just a book. It'll be okay.
I have a question about book 8, I'm trying to get as vague as possible.
Okay.
You did some new crawlers in book 8,
Yes.
and like every book it ends with everybody going to the stairwell.
Right.
So hypothetically, what would happen if one of these crawlers took a deal to get out of the dungeon?
Well, there was, before the book ended, there was mention of a different type of deal process for them. I'm telling you right now that that's going to be irrelevant because we will see all three of those movies next book.
Why is everybody kneeling? Is it because you're crawlers? What is the deal?
They make it.
Sorry. Someone better than Decker.
I've been debating with my brother for the longest time. Is there any chance at all that Warren is a cookbook author?
No.
I feel like you should make that happen now, Justin.
Do you have, or have you had any difficulty at all with publishers to the extent that you use pop culture or adult themes or any feedback there?
Not really. I mean, a lot of people don't know this, but Living Color Crawl is still self-published.
Woo!
The physical books we have, which are made by my friends at Penguin Random House, I license them the rights. So if they don't like that, then, you know, they cannot publish it. But thankfully, I'm in a position where I can say that because most writers will never be in that position. But I sometimes I worry about it. If there's a legal issue, for example, in the most recent book, we use lyrics. And Penguin Random House graciously paid for the lyrics in their version.
Ooh.
Graciously paid for the lyrics in their version, and I had to pay out of pocket for the license fee for the lyrics in the self-published, in the ebook version. That's just the way it works. But I'm pretty careful when it comes to pop culture references that are, I'm legally allowed. You're allowed to say things like, you know, I drink Pepsi today. You just can't say Pepsi poisons orphans. I should like Pepsi more than Coke.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, so I wanted to ask about trauma and anarchy/chaos are pretty integral to making story and Donut as well as Dark Trauma. I was just wondering if you could comment on the personal where those things came from.
Well, authors, when they write horror and humor, the best way to do both is to tell the truth. And I've been fortunate in my personal life that I haven't had too much major trauma deal with. But I've had it unfortunately happen to lots of people around me. Again, I used to work in human services, for example, and that was very short and tumultuous time of my life that I would never go back to because I burned out immediately. But I've seen a lot, and the best way to learn how to write that sort of stuff is to listen to other people when they say I'm hurting because of why, and then you find out, well, tell me why, and then you learn, do your best. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Christina. Hi. Glad Jeff Hayes is here. I was not expecting that. Love Jeff Hayes. So this is kind of like a two-parter. So I got into business called Carl listening to the audiobooks and listening to Jeff Hayes. And then I recently discovered in the physical books there's a Pineapple Cabaret at the end.
That's right.
Maybe you, Chris, maybe you can't answer it. Will we see the Pineapple Cabaret in the live action, or will the Pineapple Cabaret maybe get moved into like a novella that Jeff Hayes would, so we don't miss out?
Well, for the first part, I don't know. I have no idea. But as for the second part, the plan is to eventually release them as their own standalone story. And you do not have to read it in order to understand what's happening in book 8 or in book 9. It just tells the same thing from a different point of view. So I want you to read it because I think it's awesome. But it's a very different sort of thing. But if you don't have the physical books, you will eventually have access to them in another method. And we'll do our best to get, all methods available, but nothing set in stone yet.
Right, thank you.
One more. Hello again, short version, kind of how you doing? Over the past couple of years, you guys have really exploded in popularity. I think now you got to do a little bit in the main part of the film, so it's also for you to
started in maybe 2021. Maybe even, no,
Late 2022.
yeah, but also, you know, I was going to cons pre-COVID, and shaking hands with people, and, you know, in lit RPG, there's been hits, right? But they've always been hits within the lit RPG fandom, and now DCC has brought us to a much broader audience.
You're even on the charismatic voice now.
That's right, and that was like one of the highlights for me, I gotta say, because she is amazing. She knows so much about vocal technique and all that, and of course, you know, my roots are in music. So I've been watching her for a while, you know, like, and she's been analyzing the people that are my heroes vocally. So, you know, it's cool to be just like on the other side of things in that way.
Thank you.
Well, like, for the show, I think a lot of us fans and like folks are just, you know, you don't know how many episodes there are gonna be, we don't know how many seasons it's gonna go, and I think a lot of people are worried like, oh, what are we gonna cut? What are it possible that there are some characters that are gonna get combined? How do you guys kind of take this enormous narrative, this enormous role, and try to prioritize like what's important to the story, what's important to like the events and how they play out?
I mean, I think that's exactly what we do. Like, we sit down and Matt is involved with it, and the producers, Fuzzy Door, are involved with it, and we really like are trying to tell the best story possible with, you know, like truest to the spirit of the books and staying as true to the books as we can, and mostly staying true to the characters. So, you know, it's impossible when you're adapting something to a medium that something's not going to change. It is. But, you know, like I said, I am here to protect the book as much as humanly possible. So, I love and adore the book. I've read it probably 12 times. I've gone through the audiobooks 12 times, and to the best of my ability, like we're putting it on the screen. You know, so just know that I am a fan, and that I don't want to disappoint me either. But huge thank you to all of you, to Matt, to Penguin Random House, and please give it up to Princess Donut herself, Mr. Jeff.